Okay, we're gonna listen in to Pam Esquire, cause she is telling a story of just listen in. And I haven't heard the story, but I got down to a part where um, she seemed like she was beginning to tell us when she had ran into some clients, some celebrities, or what have you. But let's listen, cause just let's listen.
Y'all can help me understand. That just does not click for me. There's nowhere in the world I know. That's just like for me. There are a couple of celebrities when I did. So I never really wanted to do entertainment law. But what happened is there were young actors. It was one young actor in particularly. So one year I was doing contracts for one of the basketball players for Detroit Pistons at the time, Andre Drummond. He was having a birthday party. And so I had a friend who was the person that was coordinating the party. So I was the attorney that was, doing all the legalities of it on the boat. So we had part of it was we had certain people that would open up and stuff, and like if there had like they would get nice looking guys and girls to come in and be like waiters and waitresses, and they walked around in cute little outfits and all of that stuff or whatever, serving the people on the boat. So it was like a VIP. So it was basically Detroit Pistons and Lions and stuff that was on this boat. And it was a couple of young guys that were on there, and they were like they wanted to be a part of just working, servicing, and whatever. So they were on there to like serve and give drinks and all of that. So one of the guys one day, probably a month after everything happened, we had a conversation there about he wanted to be an actor and all that. He was about to move to Atlanta. So we had a conversation, and he was like, I'm really serious about this. I'm like, cool. A month later, he was like, I want you to be my lawyer. I was like, I don't do entertainment and I'm not interested in doing it because it sounds boring. It's just contracts. Like, that sounds real boring. So he was like, I knew he was starting out. So he really didn't have any money. And I really didn't want him to get into this industry and get got. Like, to be honest. So I was like, okay. So he had picked like 4 or 5 people that he was like, he prepared a meeting. It was like 5 of us. And he laid out his plan on what he planned on doing in this industry. So because I've been in the industry, I knew someone. He just passed away like 6 months ago, but he was like my mentor when it came to. He was in the music industry like an entertainment lawyer, so he's represented everybody you can think of. So I was like, okay, well I can connect him so I can make sure I know what I'm doing to help this guy. And one of the things that he told me was what parties to tell your client not to go to, what invitations to tell your client not to accept. What like it was almost a whole list. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And then Dev had his brother played was it Suge Knight? Dev went to sleep. I think he played Suge Knight on one of them movies or whatever, the Biggie movie or one of them movies. He played Suge Knight. And he said the same thing. Like it was just, I had other people that were around that were actors or lawyers. I was like, no, don't go to this and don't go to that. So I was very quick when I decided to get into it, and I would help local Detroit people. Like when people were calling from other states, I would say, oh no, I don't do that. But local people, I will represent them because I knew I didn't want them to get out here and either get caught up in some stuff they can't get out of because they're not prepared for this industry, and they really just go in because they're eager and they're hungry for their craft. I didn't want them to get caught up in the game. And so I kind of took it on. It wasn't really for money. And so I did that for the music industry portion for people in Detroit. And I did it for like the actors and actresses as well. And this all started with him because he wanted me to do it. So it made me have to learn it. And I was like, shoot, ain't no sense in me learning just for you. So I'm going to take, 5, 6 clients and go ahead and represent them. So I say all that just to say, when I got the information, I was like, don't do this, don't go to that party, don't be around that person. This is what they want. I heard this happens at this event. No, he'll call me like, hey, I got tickets to BET. Who gave you the tickets? They'll tell me. I'm like, no, I will go talk to somebody, see how they are. So people would within the industry knows who to avoid and who not to avoid. You know what I'm saying? And so for Don Richard to know that he is supposed to be like that, and you're saying you were traumatized, and you give this whole soliloquy, and then you were gonna allow other people to do that, I just got a problem with it. 'Cause I mean, that's just me. I feel like we gotta look out for each other. The problem is we are here. We're all here to serve, regardless of what capacity you're in. We're all here to serve, and we are here to also love people and to use money. And oftentimes we use people and we love money, and that's the problem. And so I wouldn't want nobody if my daughter was out here. I got adult kids, and they're out here trying to find their way. For them to know that you're going into a danger zone and you don't say anything. I always tell my kids, if you know that I don't care if it's a dude. If he out here beating you in your head, then you say, listen, you better have some boxing gloves because he might knock you out. Like,
Baby, I'm done. Now, I ain't never ever spoke to Pam Esquire. I know she doesn't listen to me, and I don't listen to her like that, right? I'm subscribed to her, and sometimes if I see the title or if I have a minute, whatever, I may put her on or whatever for a few minutes. Now, what is this story? What have y'all heard? Pretty much damn near 90% of this story almost verbatim, but coming from a different kind of angle a little bit. This stuff is consistent. And if you're in the know, you know. And apparently, who she's with or whatever played a Suge Knight character because she was um, looking to him for the confirmation. She's on live right now. Unfreaking believable. I'm telling you. In listen. There is so much that we can learn from each other. That's why, like, when people come up on the live or used to or what have you, I don't interrupt them when they get to tell their story. If I see an entry where I can jump in and ask a question, because I know that that's getting more on the record, and the more the better, I let them continue to go. Because we are in a community that's built on information. We are. Like it or not, we all don't have to get along or what have you, but we're in a community of information. You know, talking about serving and things of that nature, you know, that's, this is crazy. But I find that, of course, lawyers going to have things in common. That's not what I really wanted to say. Outside of the normal stuff we would have in common, like schooling and things of that nature, we also have other things that we sometimes get into, you know, and you know, we get into those things when we leverage our skills, right? Leverage our degrees or leverage whatever. Okay. More and I oftentimes giggle about having multiple streams of, you know, income, right? Being able to do 100 things, right? There's nothing wrong with that. You look so much better on paper when you can do more than just one thing. And I don't even know nobody that can do just one thing. I don't get it. You know, that lets me know that it's usually, you know, something is wrong with you. There's something that limits you. But baby, I'm sitting with my mouth open. that part, that's what I was trying to tell y'all. I don't come out and tell y'all everything, or like sometimes once something gets released in paperwork or whatever, then I feel a little comfortable elaborating on it from, either I ain't gonna tell you what position of knowledge, first hand, second hand, third hand, no, just know as a position of knowledge, um, I could go ahead and insert some facts where there may be a hole, right? But she pretty much brought you the um, another view of this whole party thing. This is crazy. That's what I'm saying, and not that I, I favor Puffy over Kelly or anybody else. No, no, no. That's not it. It's a little different. It's a little different. I'm okay with either of them having the opportunity, for bail and all of that. I never was against nobody having the opportunity for bail or what have you. The only thing it is, I may speak a little more about the puppy situation, is because this just the it's just a little different, right? It's just a little different. So, but this is crazy, right? She is on. I mean, she just now um said this shit, right? I mean, and I heard when she said um like she was like when she was in a got hooked up with somebody she was doing. I said, okay, let me stop it and rewind it and let me make an upload, because like listen, in order for us to improve conditions, right, we have to solve problems. Okay, that's the only way to make things better, or that's the only way of expanding upon already existing um, tools that we have out here, right? Tools that people are using. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you all often see in a second edition to something, a third edition, a better version, because they're making improvements, adjustments to the original idea. And a lot of people ain't all geeky up like me when it comes to information, getting it right, whatever. But check this out. I'm okay with those of us that are right. And isn't it funny that I would be connected, have a connection or affiliation with the ones that are into, you know, disseminating and trying to make sure we have a story that has little to no conflicts, right? And we need to get it right. Because when we tell the story, it needs to be told right. So it's okay to copy off each other and things of that. Now, the only problem I have with that is the ones that want to just hate a copy and then talk about you don't teach good or you ain't teaching nothing, but yet they trying to repeat shit you saying and can't explain it. They can just repeat it but can't explain it. That's that. They just can do the best they can do. Moving on, right? We on different missions, right? We all on different levels when it comes to shit like that. We information specialists. That's a different kind of title, baby. But it's so crazy, it's shit breaking out all over. When we think we got one thing solved, we don't. I thought I was settled in my spirit when it came to that whole abortion, um, by necessity and all of that. Baby, I am just, y'all know my mouth, with the swelling here for about the past 3 weeks, it has included my mouth. And shit, I don't like that because it makes me bumble and all of that. I don't like doing that. Mm-mm. And then it also, like, if you put like too much pepper in your food, or if you put your food in your mouth when it's reasonably hot, it's gonna burn real bad because it's like that skin in there is stretched real thin, or cause sometimes it could be open, you know, but you can kind of usually taste that. But anyway, not about me. I just want to stress how happy I am that everybody's on the same accord when it comes to putting that knowledge together, you know, and making sure we have a story that is being put out that is so well put together that it can definitely be a resource of information, right? Meaning somebody can go to my channel, can go to somebody else's channel, and get the 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 story, right? Get what they need and have a full understanding. Because let me tell you something. Another thing about information right now, you know this. Now tell me I'm wrong, you can check my words. I told you, it's like they tell you in school, check your work. Tell you that in math, check my words. I've been telling y'all that, and that's what I say prior to me even coming on YouTube. Check my words. Information is what we use to do what? Make decisions on. Right? So we need to make sure that shit is together. Because if not, it's going to throw your decisions off, right? If you using information to make opinions, it's going to have your opinions fucked up. Now, if you don't care, then that's not to hear that, right? You have some people that don't care. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about anyway. They just trying to, fit in and stuff like that. And we sit up there like, baby, we know you don't know what you're talking about. You just saying some shit because you see others talking about it. Like, come on now. But anyway, um, but I can't believe that family Esquire. She doesn't look like the type that will. And I see she went. Her approach was a little different, right? Because she was approaching it from being, um, being at work. She's in her professional capacity. It doesn't seem like, and I don't know, it doesn't seem like she was, out partying or out or whatever. But she gave the protocol. She knows the damn protocol, how this stuff go. And I done told y'all how status work. They're pretty much the same when it comes to prestige. And anybody that knows this know it. If you was ever a it girl or a hot boy, whatever, that's what how you gonna die unless you do. I told you do them things I had put on that wall, like do something involving kids, or snitching and get you off the list real quick and rip you of your status. That'll get you up out of here real quick. Yeah. whole bunch of um, um, little rules big built into a big rule, right? So yeah, um, but she seems like she was going in like serving, right? She was working, and it looks like she developed some, friendships and all of that, right? She developed, some worker. She had started out with a maybe working relationship with some of these people, but it developed into, more. It's most likely platonic, whatever. I'm not speaking on nobody's setup because I don't know. I'm just familiar on how it works, right? And I've been in in service on all fronts, right? I didn't give it my ass, but I definitely, was one of the date girls. So, um, hell, I'm gonna say it like that. But y'all know I didn't just stop there and put in one of those floss things while I'm on this making this tape, and I'm too far in to start over. But I like to buy those floss picks, the ones that have the little floss at the end, and then the little pick or whatever, so you can get in between there. I had the little regular floss as well, the little string, but I like the little picks and stuff. And you can get it. But um yeah, she pretty much gave you stuff that I had already told you guys. I don't know how many people remain on the lives or listen to the lives all the way through, especially since, and I told you this stuff before, um, Diddy got in trouble, but yeah, especially since Diddy had gotten in trouble and what we've been seeing on social media and the paperwork and all of that, how a lot of this stuff works. And I told you it's way more than Diddy and whomever else having these parties. And they aren't just celebrities. Okay? But the setup is pretty much the same. You hear her talking about athletes and stuff. And sound pretty much verbatim as to what I was telling y'all. Now I've been around the athletes and stuff like that. Of course, you already know that, so I didn't think I have to go into about all of that. But it's pretty much the same. And a lot of times, the different industries being there together, the entertainers and the and the athletes and shit. There's a lot going on, right? But oh man, I'm trying to tell you, we are enriched by information. That's how we get that knowledge. And this, in my opinion, I like to use um, factual based knowledge information to form my opinions, to make my decisions. You know, I don't like no one to, oh my gosh. Ugh, child. I'll get into that. I've been talking about that here and there for the past couple of days. How people just, it's the lies for me. I just don't know how this works. I just don't know. But it lets me know it's a sickness. It's a goddamn sickness. A damn sickness. Because you got to be sick to tell somebody that was there with you a lie about a situation that they was there with you, and you telling that person as if they wasn't there. That's when I'm, you know, Mo and I just gonna have to disagree. I'm giving your ass some medication. I can't give you not one goddamn prescription. But thus far, those people who I have told to tell their doctors what to give them, the doctors have given it to them every time. Tell me I'm lying. But I mean, I find out a way to, you know, I don't like to disclose all of that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got that call on the channel, whatever, but I don't like to disclose people, you know, HIPAA shit and all of that. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. You know, I'm not reckless with, um, you know, profiling your ass. I'm not reckless with it. I'm really trying to get down to have an accurate um, profile of your ass. You know, it's just what it is. I want to make sure I get it right. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Now, oh my gosh, we have some of the best contributors when it comes to information. Okay. Man, I love for people to get it right, because I'm all about seeing others succeed, right? And if there's anything I can do to help them, that's what I'll do. Like you heard, I guess I can call my friend. I mean, she'll be mad if I didn't. But um, she asked me, you know, to help her, right? And I wanna help. And how I sound? I'm so shy. I don't want to be all in front, all that type of stuff. Whatever. I don't like all of that. But I like to see people do better than I do, even in the same area. Let me tell you something. The people I've trained and instructed and taught and whatever, I'll go back and check to make sure that you're doing good. And I'll be hoping that you're doing better than me. I like to see how you performing in whatever it is you're doing where you are. That just, yes. I told you, like, you know, when I break up with somebody, oh, and this I don't know if this just, it is what it is, right? But just about all of us, anybody that has some type of status, oh, we're going to make sure that the next person you move on with better be up to par. They're going to be on the same level, or if not better, than our motherfucking ass. Mm-mm. Shit, no. And the men do the same goddamn thing. Because, baby, when University of Florida saw that damn Eddie, the old man, he almost had a fit. Because he knew that was on his credit. He was like, oh, hell no. Yeah. I know it sounds weird, but it's only sound weird to people that is accustomed to living like that, or, you know, being familiar. Because if you're familiar with it or whatever, it's just normal. It's just as normal um, as can be. And I know it doesn't even sound like it, but I know it is what it is. Mm-mm. Yes, Lord. You know, I told y'all I have a habit of, now I'm poking on nothings, but I do like the little nobodies, till the nobodies give me that peace, that quiet, that you know, that 101 or whatever. They don't be wanting to be in the place to be every time and all this here and all that there and all that whatever. You know, and their values not of course my my social group that their values are in their um, in their belief structure and all that are top notch, right? It's right where it should be. But the nobodies, they don't have to worry about the rules and regulations of status, right? Wherein the people with status, we have to. Well, make sure this, make sure that. Don't hang around the right? And I think I told y'all this story. But when my daughter was in the 6th grade, I went to go pick her up. Right, she was in the extended day, extended care, whatever it's called. Right, I rolled up, and for like the second or third day in a row, she is standing up there with the little girls that with the big old Coke bottle glasses and stuff. That they from the smart class, and those were the nerds. Honey, I don't care. And so like it was the second or third day. I said, hey, stop hanging with them girls and talking to them girls or whatever. They nerds and blah 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 blah. Right? I'm talking to her as if she knows the rules and regulations of status, because the shit start, hell, as early as you can understand how it works, right? My daughter was so innocent, talking about what does it matter. I was like, damn, you actually right, but shit, I'm hanging with them, because the people that has status, they gonna start talking about your ass. Like, oh, she hang with such and such. She hang with such and such. Now you got a bad name for I don't know how long until you get rid of that name for hanging with nobodies and nerds and shit. My daughter was confused. She wasn't all into that. And when she got uh, like in her teens and a young adult and early 20s and stuff like that, when she would be somewhere and they'd be like, ain't you your daughter? What else she talking about? I don't even know them people, whatever. She would get exhausted. She gets exhausted by that. I can't go nowhere. I'm like, yeah, and everybody watching you, believe that. And I just be teasing because everybody ain't watching her, but she's just real, simple and basic, right? And I appreciate that out of a lot of people. And I do appreciate that out of, my male and stuff like that. But a lot of times that's not you a status person, it person, prestige, whatever. That's 9 out of 10 times the type of person that you're gonna attract. Cause one, the nobodies and the nothings know they don't have not a chance in the world. But the nobodies think that you're out there league and all of that, right? So they're not, you're not gonna meet too many new friends that are nobodies. It doesn't work that way. But anyway, I get off of that. I can talk about that shit all day and all night. But what I really wanted to put on the damn calendar is all these open items. Yeah, but hey, what's that tagline Kim say he loved for me? Run your life like a business. Okay, I don't give a fuck what it is. Listen, that abortion thing, that done reopened. I thought I had that settled. It's not. I got to get back to the understanding of it. So, if you see me frustrating you with those postings, that's because I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Trying to get the information, you know, just right. Um, Pam Esquire, she's up to going over that paperwork over that goddamn Courtney Burgess man. And I apologize, I do cannot remember his other name. I thought he has another name or whatever. I barely remember the Courtney Burgess name. But he is really um on the minds of us because something ain't right. But between that book and that's two copies and the white dude and look like these people may be connected. Then I don't know who the big homie CC is. I don't know where he come in at. They just popping up out of everywhere. And then we knew we was on to something, y'all, because the what? The attorney wants gag orders. Want to shut down a lot of this stuff, right? So we be on to something. And I'm gonna tell you the quickest way you know the that we be on to something is that when we got something just on our minds and our hearts, where it's sitting, and then you start seeing paperwork with regards to it, or some other YouTube or blogger, someone that is doing some uploads or some downloads or what have you on that same issue, you know you're on something, right? Anybody that has been involved in basic investigation or research, you know that's what it is, right? But yeah, I'm having fun, information. uh, Research and all of that. I can do that 2 or 3 days straight with just a nod, honey. Because I'm dedicated to making things right. Okay? Meaning not putting out no jacked up story. And I'm not going to lie it all up. And I don't think it's, appropriate to poke fun at it and all of that till you get it together. Hell, you know what the hell it is you talking about before you revise it. So, but yeah, so two black dudes over there with P. Diddy, we gotta figure out what the hell is going on. The Purges guy and the big homie. Abortion thing, that's still an issue. Something else. Yeah, this thing with Miss Attorney Bumpers, right? Now, shout out to Red Bunny. She came through with a contribution that I will. She already left it on the wall under that post with me speaking about her and the marriage, right? Her alleged marriage to Mr. Stillwell. Now, I am confused. Hold on. I'm just thought about something. She don't be, not that we can tell, she don't be in court with that man. So we don't know if they're estranged. Well, they would have to be. Well, that would have to be because even if he's in jail, they can be still together. That wouldn't, constitute them being estranged. It would be actually they are together. He's just away. So, the girl that Red Bunny gave me a link to an interview Sylvia did of that woman. She does look like Attorney Bumpers but I think they're two different women. I don't know what the hell is going on, y'all. I don't know what the hell is going on. We got too much shit to solve around here. One thing about it, we won't be sitting up there forming old dumbass opinions and shit because we using faulty information in which we forming them. Sounding crazy. Nah, we're not doing that. We have much more responsibility than that. So yeah. But yeah, anyway, I think that is quite a bit much. But yeah, that's just some of the shit that's going on. I believe we all love it, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm still eating. But yeah, let me